Just starting out in model building and want your projects to look perfect? Many beginners make common mistakes that ruin the final result and can be discouraging. In this video, we'll go over the 5 most common mistakes beginner modelers make and how to avoid them. So, if you want to improve your skills and achieve professional quality builds, make sure to watch till the end. But before we dive into the mistakes, I'd really appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel and give this video a like in advance. It's a small action for you, but it helps the channel grow a lot. Also, I use AI voiceover because my English isn't fluent enough yet. But everything else, the script, editing, and video topics, I create myself. The background footage you see is my work on a diorama. You can find the full video about it in the description. If you'd like to support the channel even more, consider becoming a sponsor. It will greatly help its development. And now, let's get to the main topic of this video. The first and probably the most common mistake beginners make is choosing the wrong first model. I've been there myself. It's easy to think that the more complex and detailed a model is, the more fun it will be to build. But many beginners end up picking something way too complicated, with hundreds of tiny parts, intricate painting, or lots of photo-etched details. And then, once they start assembling, they run into difficulties that lead to frustration and loss of motivation. It's important to remember that your first model isn't just a project. It's your first experience. It should inspire you to keep going, not make you want to quit. That's why it's best to start with something that's not overly complicated but still engaging, so the process is enjoyable without being overwhelming. I'll be releasing a dedicated video soon about how to choose your first model, as this topic deserves special attention. But if you don't want to wait, I already have a video with recommendations for beginner-friendly models. Check the description for the link. The second common mistake is following the wrong order of assembly and painting. I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but it definitely deserves more attention. At first, it might seem like blindly following the manufacturer's instructions is the best approach. But in reality, many instructions are designed as if painting the model isn't even a factor. As a result, you may fully assemble your model, and only then realize that painting the cockpit or other hard-to-reach areas is nearly impossible. To avoid this mistake, always take the time to carefully review the instructions before starting. Identify any steps that might make painting more difficult, and plan the assembly sequence accordingly. Some parts may be easier to paint separately, while others should be attached later. A little planning up front can save you a lot of frustration and help you achieve a much cleaner and more professional-looking result. The next mistake that every beginner makes is improper decal application. Instructions always say that decals should be applied using water. Yes, water can help transfer decals onto the model, and sometimes the results aren't too bad. But more often than not, you end up with visible decal film that completely breaks the realism of the model. The illusion is instantly shattered. To avoid this, you need to use a decal setting solution. This special liquid helps the decal conform to the surface, eliminating the visible film and making it look like real paint instead of a sticker. However, there's one crucial detail. This solution must be applied over a clear gloss coat. If you put it directly on the paint, it will damage the surface, potentially ruining your model. The correct process is as follows. Apply a first layer of clear gloss coat. Place the decal and use the setting solution. Seal everything with a second layer of clear coat. Following these steps will give your decals a painted-on look rather than an obvious sticker effect. It's a small detail, but these finishing touches are what make a model truly realistic. The fourth mistake, and not just for beginners, is overusing weathering effects. For a beginner, the key focus should be on building and painting neatly. All the additional effects, chipping, rust, streaks, dirt, should come later, step by step. But sometimes it feels like a modeler won't be satisfied until they pour every single weathering product they own onto their model. Personally, I'm against excessive weathering, and even more so for beginners. When you don't have enough experience, weathering is more likely to ruin a model than enhance it. Sometimes less is more. If you decide to add weathering, do it carefully and in moderation. Effects should complement the model, not overwhelm it. If you think that making a rusty, dirty model is the highest level of skill in scale modeling, think again. Try building a glossy, factory-fresh model with no signs of wear and tear, where you can't hide mistakes under layers of dirt or rust. Any extra drop of glue, uneven paint job, or dust under the clear coat will be immediately visible. And if glossy cars aren't your thing, and you're all about hardcore military models, then try building a parade version of a tank. Clean, precisely painted, and free of any weathering. That's when you'll realize that making a heavily worn, abandoned-looking vehicle is far from the ultimate challenge. True mastery lies in control and precision, no matter the style of the model. One of the most common mistakes beginner modelers make is improper model storage. And to be honest, I haven't found the perfect solution myself yet. Right now, I just keep my models in boxes inside a cabinet. It's not the best option, but in reality, it could be much worse. Many modelers prefer to display their finished models on open shelves. It makes sense. You want to admire your work, show it to friends, or take nice photos. But over time, this kind of open display becomes a real problem. The biggest enemy of stored models is dust. It settles on every surface, and if left unchecked, within a few months, the model starts to look worn out and messy. However, cleaning dust off models is a real challenge. Wiping with a cloth, almost impossible. You'll likely break fragile parts like antennas, railings, or rigging. Blowing air? It helps, but not always, especially if the dust has settled in crevices or on a matte surface. Using a brush? Risky. You might accidentally damage small details. In the end, dust eventually embeds itself into the paint and varnish, making the model look dull and dirty. Another issue with open storage is accidental damage. If a model sits unprotected for a long time, anything can happen. You might accidentally bump it and knock it over. A guest might pick it up without realizing how fragile it is. And if you have children or pets in the house, the chances of keeping your models intact are even lower. So, what's the best solution? Ideally, models should be stored in clear plastic display cases. These protect them from dust and accidental damage while still allowing you to enjoy the view. You can find ready-made acrylic display boxes, or you can create a DIY solution. Some modelers use regular plastic storage containers, modifying them slightly to fit their needs. Of course, display cases take up space and cost money, but if you want to keep your models in good condition for years, this is the best investment, especially if we're talking about complex dioramas or highly detailed models that took a lot of effort to complete. That's all. Hope the release was useful to you. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and share your opinion in the comments. See you soon.